Okay, my work surface is extremely messy, but that's okay because um, I'm just going to cut some paper here, some cardstock, and I wanted to share with y'all. Instead of buying cardstock and all that stuff, I just use packages that food comes in or items or whatever, and I just, I don't want to spend a bunch of money on cardstock, so. My cat turned my lights out. Hold on. Don't step on that, okay? Just a little update on things that I've been doing. I've now been smoke-free for 95 or 96 days, something like that. And it's not really a New Year's resolution, but I did start on the new year. I'm trying to remove Cokes out of my diet as much as possible. Not meaning that I can't have Cokes, just trying to make it to where Cokes are not an everyday thing that I drink. And so far it's going pretty good. I'll show you some of the stuff that I've been drinking to replace Cokes because I'm not a water drinker. I do not like the whole ordeal about drinking a bunch of water. It's not my thing. I'd rather drink a Coke or juice, or hell, I'd even go for Kool-Aid, but I'm just not a water drinker. So I have found sparkling waters that would, that are better taste-wise for me. Okay, that's clean enough. I really don't give a rat's ass. But I've been drinking these. These are not my favorite. These are okay. It's just something about the lime flavor that I was hoping it would be more like a Sprite, but the lime is a very weird wang to it. It's just something I can't get used to. These I love. These grapefruit ones, they are really tasty. I really like them, and I bought like 3 cases of those. And I've also been drinking these. And these are like the cherry limeade version of sparkling water, cherry lime. And it's pretty good. I like those too. I just found passion fruit today that is pretty good. And also there's a kiwi and kiwi and watermelon flavored one, and that's probably just like the grapefruit ones. They are one of my faves. Okay, I save anything that is cardstock like. This is really thin, so I'm not so sure about this one, but like these packages that these come in, these completes, that's pretty thick stuff. And I can cut that up and get down to an ATC size. These right here, I break them down, and whatever's left over, this is probably the thickest, but one of the things that you have to watch out for is this has like a wax coating on it, and if you take like a sandpaper and just lightly sand it, you'll get away, get that wax coating away. I get this girl, I bought some stuff from her, and she sent me a business card. Well, I can turn that paper into something else. This is some stuff that came in a Chick-fil-A meal that I just kept, and I bought some stuff from Apple Pie Memories, acrylic stamp blocks, and that doesn't have any coating on it at all, and that will work perfect. And if you just gesso them, I mean, you can used them. I mean, you know, these packages, you know, I just break them down, and wherever there was glue where it binded together, I cut that off. And I mean, this right here is perfect. I mean, I can get an ATC out of each side, and I'm not going to show you things that have my address on them, but you know, I have other paper stuff in here that come in the mail, you know, and I can break that down and use, you know, whatever I can from it. I don't like to buy a bunch of cardstock, especially if it's something I'm going to cover with paint. It's useless to do that, so it's best if I just have something like that. These boxes, I can totally cut these down and use them. They're, you know, somewhat thick, so it's just like cardstock, you know. I mean, if you don't mind using what you have at the house, you can easily apply these to your cardstock stuff. I do want to share that I have a cat now, and I got the cat from a rescue shelter. She was neglected, and she was in a room for 6.5 years and really didn't have any attention given to her, not much attention at all. And so when I found out that she was available, and I need an animal in here that doesn't really care about me not being at home for most of the day, well, that's perfect. You know, she's rubbing against my leg right now. She might come up here in a little bit and decide to get friendly, but she's not much for giving a bunch of attention to. She's like, you know, okay, you've pet me, and once I've pet her, she's like, okay, that's enough. So she's really, I would say, independent, which is good. I'm a very independent person too, and I would prefer it if she would be okay to be left alone. Cleared that side. I think this one might be a little too small for an ATC. Let's see. Yeah, I just barely guided that. Let's double check here. See, it got the very edge. Some that don't quite make it to ATCs, you know, that might be a card that I do decorate, do whatever to, but then I'm gonna, you know, keep it for myself. It will go in my stash of stuff that I've created. Okay. And I want to cut the barcode off as much as possible. Let's see, 3.5, about right there. And I'm doing good with the smoking. It is very much a hassle sometimes. I've cut my patches in half now, and I've kept them at that point so far. So that's good. I'm not having a full-blown attack when I do that, so I don't know if this one's gonna make it. Yeah, that's good. Not really caring too much about the weight gain, which is why I decided to go on the no coke thing, hoping that I can knock down some weight that way. That upsets me to no freaking end. So just gotta do what I gotta do, I guess. Don't really know. Whatever gets the weight off is what I care about. I think I cut that one right on the, yeah, I did. Wow, that's, Okay. Take off another small section of it, because I don't like to get in the fold. I want the fold to be gone. There. Let's see. So, I mean, I've got plenty of cards here. This is 4. And breaking these down on this end of where they glue them at, I would break that open. I just lift up the edge like that and work my finger in there, separate the glue. Sometimes I've been able to save one of the panels doing it that way. Sometimes I can't, so I just open it up. Same on the other side. Just open it up. And then I run my finger down this side to open it up all the way. And see those ring marks? If they're not too bad, I'll use that panel. If not, there's always the side panels that are really good. I can get numerous ones out of here and then one out of here. So and I'll cut this down to where I can fit it in my little box here, and I keep everything in my box until I cut it down. And then after I cut it down, I usually put them in a Ziploc baggie so that I can see through the bag. I'm not much for if it's not dealt with, I'd rather put it in a box I can't see through. And if it has been dealt with, then I'll put it in a Ziploc baggie so that I can see that it is ready to be used. And cereal boxes work good. Any kind of, if your family eats stuff like Hamburger Helper or those Suddenly salads or any kind of rice boxes, stuff like that, those always cut down perfect, and they're thick enough to where you can use them for stuff like this. Anything that is printed ink, I would just, this right here is no big deal. I don't think it'll bleed through. But if you're worried about some kind of ink being printed on there that might bleed through, you can gesso it. I gesso everything anyway, so you know, you can make your own gesso or you can buy some. Depends on how lazy I am, if I actually buy it or if I make it. Most of the time, I just buy it because I'm freaking lazy. And for the most part, it usually works pretty good. I have found some that whenever you do get, like some of the cereal boxes, sometimes whenever you paint them or something, they tend to warp to no end. And you can usually straighten that out by wetting the other side and setting it up under books and put a towel under it to leach out all the water. But you can usually dry it flat that way. I try not to get anything completely soaking wet to where it warps to no end. Some of the paints that I bought, I hate Americana paints. I don't know if anybody else deals with this, but the Americana paints, whenever you let them set, let me go grab one. Hold on. The Americana paints that I have bought, this one's not too bad, but let me see if you can see it. It separates. It's got like a clear liquid in it that I hate them. See this clear liquid? I mean, it's just clear, and then it's the paint. And I mean, it's colored, but then there's the paint behind it. And I don't even know if you could have seen that. Anyway, let me see if I can get better. Let's see. Let's just use one of these things down here. I mean, there's a clear liquid in that, and you have to shake them a lot to get that clear liquid to mix in. It's a hell of a mess. And sometimes, I mean, I use a lot of apple barrel. I've always used apple barrel. And let's see, what other ones? I got folk art. Folk art doesn't do that. You know, apple barrel doesn't do that. My Van Gogh does not do that. My liquid text does not do that, you know, at all. They don't do that. These are more thicker. They are, let's see. It doesn't say, but anyway, it's a thicker type paint. And you have to shake the shit out of them. And even then, some of them I've found, they just don't mix up. I mean, I've even stuck a stir stick in there thinking, you know, okay, I don't know why it separates so horrifically, but it needs to be mixed up. And it seems like I'm mixing them up more than I feel a need to. All of my other paints do not separate like that. I don't know why that one does. But that brand I am not liking at all. I mean, these are years old and they don't separate. You know, they've never separate. I had these in college. That was many, many, many moons ago. Many, many moons ago. Anyway, this is one of the ones I was doing. Haven't finished it yet. It doesn't come with the gnat that did a flyby just then. But I did this for someone. Didn't get to finish it at Christmas. So I'm going to finish it and give it to her for another day. She'll enjoy it. I did a lot of painting, but not enough to make me happy. I did some wood burning. I did some, let's see. I did a couple of little gift things that didn't really mean anything. It was little elves, you know. They're okay. But they were fun. They were something new I haven't done yet. So that was cool. And the people who got them appreciated them. I did find these at Walmart to, you know, set my paint stuff on. So that's cool. I'd like something to set it up on, because the person that I'm giving this to, this goes above their cabinets. And she has a whole area to where she can display everything. My stepmom, so she won't ever see this video. I don't think I don't even know if she knows how to go on YouTube. So anyway, I'm going to see you guys later. I'm going to take a shower. I am so glad the holidays are over. I am so glad I can start taking care of some stuff around here. I want to get that art room cleared out. I want to get everything out of my kitchen and into the studio, because I hate having this out here. And I moved all of my furniture that goes to my table over to the side, and now my entire living room looks like hell wrecked through it while I was gone. So I need to get all that taken care of. And on top of that, work is going to be rough for a little while, until some things work out. I hope everybody's doing good out there. I hope everybody had a great and safe and happy holidays, including the new year. I'd like to know if anybody's doing any New Year resolutions. Do you feel a need to do them? I feel a need to do it just because it's a start of a new year, but then I never keep up with them. So instead of keeping up with New Year's resolutions, I decided I'm just going to do what I can to make life a little better and easier health-wise for me. And the only thing I came across, other than quitting smoking, which we started that on October 1st of last year, is the Cokes. And hopefully that will knock my swelling down in my hands. Hopefully that will knock the swelling down in my ankles and help my joints out a little bit. If anybody quit Cokes in the past and was successful at it, let me know. Let me know what you did. Let me know what kind of changes you did. Did you have a hard time? Did you relapse? Did you find a need to supplement with other things? Like I will all of a sudden start munching on chips and stuff because I feel a need to drink a Coke, and that's not good. So I've quit buying chips, and we'll see how that goes. Hope everybody's doing great out there. Talk to you guys later. Bye.